I'm going to talk with you about the common problems we're seeing on Cayenne Turbo. That is the 2019 to 2023 models. So overall, this is actually a really good platform. In fact, my wife actually has this identical car, except in lava orange. There are a couple things that do break, but for the most part, phenomenal car. I absolutely love these. And if you're considering buying one, do not let this video deter you, because these things are phenomenal. There's just a few things that we've seen. And again, some of these cars have 50, 60, 70,000 miles on by now. A lot of people that buy these cars are executives and they're traveling and they're driving. I mean, we're seeing these with 80, 90, 100,000 miles now. So this list of things is over a large sample of data on cars that have obviously miles on them, and things happen. So don't let this deter you, but let this be informational so you know what to expect. Not specifically the carbon ceramic brakes, but the surface coated brakes have actually a slight squeal sometimes. And believe it or not, my wife's car actually had it. And she's like, something is wrong with the car. I'm like, well, it's normal because Porsche brakes, they squeal. You know, most Porsche owners are aware of that. But there actually is a slight issue. It's nothing of detriment, but the brake pads on the front, Porsche released an update. And then the retaining pads on the rear, there's an update for those as well. And basically what happens is you'll hear this very small, gentle, like metallic sound. And it just happens like if you're driving down there and touch the brakes, you'll hear it for a little bit. And the solution is replacing the front brake pads with updated part and the rear brake pads with a different retaining pad. But you don't have to fix it. It's very, very minor. But if it's something that bugs you, that's the solution. But again, it's not a required fix. It's just a simple problem. Another issue we're seeing is with the sunroof. Now, this car is ultra lightweight package, so you'll never have that problem if this is your car. But if you have a pano or a regular sunroof, we have seen some issues where basically the drains will get clogged up and it will leak water into the car. In some instances, it will actually leak into the rear of the car. An easy solution to this is one of two things. A lot of times it's clogged drains. So if you're having your car serviced by someone that's familiar with Porsche, they'll clean those out for you as a part of the minor service. In other cases, there is actual damage happening to the drain tubes, and that would actually require an actual repair. But that is a problem that we do see in the sunroof. Another issue that we have been seeing with these cars, it's not too often, is if you have the surround view camera system and you see fog, or just if you're looking at it and something's not displaying, you could have a failed camera. So if it looks foggy, dirty, or just not showing, it could have been a camera that's actually failed. The solution is using the PWIS, which is the factory diagnostic tool for Porsche, and we can log into the car, test the cameras, and figure out which cameras failed, and sometimes do a handover, which can sometimes fix it, but most cases you need to replace the camera. Now, this one isn't very common, but we have seen a few samples of the actual adaptive headlights failing. Obviously, when that fails, it's not like we can take apart the headlight and replace, as it's one assembly and one control unit. So there have been some failures we've seen in these, and that requires replacement of the headlight. Now, as these cars get further along in the life cycle, there may be some aftermarket solutions that allow repair of this headlight issue, but in our experience, you have to replace the headlight assembly. Work our way towards the inside of the car. There are two issues that we see, and it's related to leather. Right here is the side bolsters on the driver's side seat, although it is possible for it to happen in the passenger seat, but we do see issues with these from time to time, and there is a solution that Porsche offers to repair these. A much more common issue is the actual dash. And in fact, this car has, with the dash currently right now, it will start to peel up and you can see it. In some cases, it's worse than others. And it's pretty common among these cars, although I've noticed the cars that have been kept out of the sun, obviously when they're parked and things of that nature, they aren't seeing as many issues, or if any issues. But the cars are out in the sun a lot, we're seeing the dashes coming up, peeling and raising. The good news is, if you own this car, it's probably still under warranty in most cases, and they will fix the dash and your seat at Porsche dealership. Another unique issue we're seeing to these cars is the fuel tanks are having some issues and they're failing. And I don't mean like they're leaking fuel out on the road or anything that's dangerous, but basically the pulsation dampener is going to fail, and at 3/4 of a tank, you'll hear some rattling noise from underneath the car in this vicinity of the car. And all that is the pulsation dampener has failed. Now, it's not gonna have any catastrophic failure or anything of that nature, but Porsche does recommend replacement of the tank because obviously the noise isn't going to get better or go away. The Cayenne Turbo is a beast. It has one of the most powerful drivetrains you can get. It's notoriously reliable, and it's featured in the Urus RSQ8, and it's a phenomenal package. But there are a couple of caveats to it, and they're very minor, but one of them is the water pump. We are seeing water pump failures. In fact, my wife's car just had that not too long ago. And basically you'll get a light on the dash that says coolant pump fault or coolant pump failure, and you'll have to replace the pump as it's an electronic coolant pump. That is pretty much the biggest issue we're seeing with this actual engine itself. And then we're also seeing a small issue with the belt tensioner. The tensioner is hydraulic dampened, and what happens is the seal will start to leak, and then fluid will start to leak from the tensioner, and over time it will slowly compress the tensioner as it doesn't have the strength to stay opposing with compression against the belt. So the solution that is replaced, now in most cases every 60,000 miles or 6 years your drive belt's getting replaced if you're following the service schedule, and obviously that will be caught during the inspection and it will be addressed at that time and you won't have to worry with it. The last issue on these cars is the lithium batteries. We have seen some of those starting to fail. The good news is in most cases they're under warranty by Porsche, but it is an expensive repair. Aside from that though, those are pretty much only powertrain related issues they're going to see with these cars unless it's like a one-off scenario, but they're pretty robust when it comes to the powertrain. So I tried to cover every single common problem we see in our service shop on these. Aside from what I went over, there's not much you see outside routine maintenance and just the normal items, wear and tear, brakes and stuff of that nature. But overall, the Cayenne Turbo is a phenomenal car. It's one of my favorites. My wife has one, and I think it's one of the best products Porsche makes. So hopefully you found some value in the video. If you have any questions about any of these issues or questions about maintenance, comment below. We'll be happy to help, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.